Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and I am coming along on this Friday to join in the Mixed Media Mayhem. And we need to use a flare, some stencil and a paste. So this is my layout that I'm going to work on today. I've got some gold lunar paste, I've got a stencil with dots, and I've got some Kaisercraft layer here that I'm going to incorporate into my layout. But first of all, before I do that, I need to acknowledge that I am lifting Linda Radford from Bash Your Stash on Facebook. I'll put all of the details down below. She kindly allowed me to scrap lift her because as soon as I saw her layout, I knew I just had to have a go at it. So as much as I'd like to take credit for it, I am acknowledging that I am scrap lifting Linda Radford, and as I said, I'll put all the details down below for you to check out her layout, as well as Bash Your Stash, where I'm playing along in January to bash my stash and earn some points in my points tallies. So with this Mixed Media Mayhem today, we had to use some paste, and that's why I've gone with the gold lunar paste. I love this paste. It's just creamy. It's creamy as butter. Leaves a beautiful shine to the layout. And I've put the stencil, which is a dotted stencil, and that's very Christmassy as well. Now that I've done that, I need to mark off the center of my layout because this is a diamond type layout, and I need to know where the marks are so that I can work my pieces together. Now, there were a set of instructions that she had, but I have just gone by looking at her layout and working it from her layout. So I marked exactly the center point going that way and the center point going that way, and it doesn't matter that it's in white gel. I put it in white gel pen so I can see it on the red. My photos are actually going to cover that, and you'll see this in time as I develop this layout. Now these black strips are actually going to weave their way through the photos. So this is a little bit tricky, so you have to place the black strips on your photo and work out where they're going to go through. And then you use a very sharp X-Acto knife or a very sharp craft knife, and I do mean very sharp. And the way I get my knives really, really sharp is that I put them through the knife sharpener that I use in my kitchen. And that keeps them for a long time, but it also makes them extremely sharp so that they just cut like butter. Now I'm weaving that through, and as you can see, that black strip now looks like it has run through that photo. And I'm going to do that for all four, and it is tricky because you do need to manipulate it carefully, and you need to mark and note which parts of the photo you need to trim it out so that you can paper weave that black strip through. And this photo here was the trickiest one to work with because there was a little piece that it needed to go through, and to cut that you actually cut like right through the photo, and then you had to sort of overweave and match. And what I should have done here is probably just stick that black bit down, and then it would have stayed in place and I wouldn't have had as many dramas as I had throughout. Now the other thing is that you need to line it up so that it is a straight line and it does go to the points that you want. So as you can see, that one is not quite cut enough, so I have to cut it a little bit further to make sure it slides in better and I have that straight line for the diagonal happening there. And then I'm going to move up here to the top one. This one here is an easy one to do. It just goes down through behind him basically, and it just tucks in nicely. And that's my son-in-law with my daughter. And we were in the city and we were going to Martin Place, and we're standing in front of the giant tree in Martin Place. So I took these photos, and the group photo a person kindly took for us. So I am putting the strip through behind him, and as you can see, it's woven through that photo and actually becomes part of the photo, and that is what makes it look so effective. I love that there's that little bit of so you can see here I had to cut a little bit more to make sure that that fits in, and that's a straight line when I put the diagonal to the two mark spots on the frame that I have around this layout. Now it is tricky, and this one here I just went ahead and did off screen because you got the idea of what I needed to do. Now for the four corners of this to create the square, the total diamond square, I've cut some scraps, and I could go baby got scraps, but these papers I haven't mentioned actually are coming out of my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. So that's some more papers out of my kit this month, and I'm just putting them into the corners here as features of this layout, and I'm just using the diamond corner to guide where that actually sits in that space. And they do tuck in under the photo, and you'll see that I lift the photos to make them go in underneath, and it doesn't matter that they're larger. I'd rather them larger than smaller, and they fit in nicely and set up that full square. Once that's in place, I can then put down the black strips permanently. Now, if you want to have a go at this, it is tricky, I'm not going to lie. It is fiddly, but it is a great layout. I just love the effect that it finally creates. So please have a go. As I said, Linda gave me permission to scrap lift, and I have taken her idea and I have, of course, added more and embellished. I've used the glitter paste where she has not. I've added in, I will add in the title, and I will add in flair, and I will add in some extra bits to it that she doesn't have. So by all means, you can stop and copy and have a go. That's the whole idea. I'd really love to hear if you do have a go. I'm hoping that I'm inspiring you to get creative and come out of your comfort zone a little bit and have a go. Let me know down in the comments below if you have a go and how it turns out. It can be tricky at times. As you can see, this one here, I'm going back again to re-thread it again because I had an issue. And it is, when it's finally in place, it's fine. And I just put that down, and I'm using my glue when it's in place to finally adhere it into the correct spot so that I get that diagonal happening. And I need to make sure that it's lining up out across the edge at the bottom here, and that I have that straight line happening so that my diamond doesn't look funny. And once I'm happy with that, I can then trim off the excess bits on the sides. Now, there are parts in the photo that I need to glue down because that's where I've cut them away. And once they're all down and adhered to the layout, I am happy that that has come together. And now you can see that there are points that I just need to trim and neaten up just a little bit on the frame. And I go ahead and I do that, and you can see there. Now I'm going to add in a spray of stars along the edges that are on the red here. And I'm doing it in the 4 segments or the 4 quarters. I'm not doing it on every spray. I'm just doing it on the 4 big ones. And I'm just going to add those spray of stars across there. And that's just another little bit of an element that I'm adding in to give it some more detail. And I love how that's coming together nicely. Now, these letters are also out of my How to Kill It kit with style. So that's great because we are focusing on using up our alphas. So there's some more going here with the heading Good Tidings, and I'm pretty excited that I'm starting to use up all these alphas because they do lose their stickiness, and I don't want that to happen. I want them to be on the layout and in my albums so that they have been utilised and not lost. And the last couple of things I need to do here, I'm just going to add in some more stars in the 3 around this title, just to give your eye a roaming point in the title. And then I'm going to add in the date that this happened with my date stamper. And as you can see, that diamond looks so effective. It looks great how that black goes through the photos. I love it. It's just an amazing optical illusion. It looks so effective. It makes those pop. It makes, like if you look at the top left one where my youngest daughter is there, it makes her look like she's popping up out of that photo. It looks like that my daughter and I down the bottom left-hand one are popping out of that photo. It's just a great visual effect. And you can see the gold spray there with the glitter paste in there. You can see how this has all come together, and I absolutely love this layout. I would have to say this is one of my favourite layouts of the month so far. So have a go, people. Mixed media is fun. It's not just the pastes, it's not just the stencils. Every time you add something that is bulky or multi-dimensional, that is mixed media. Anything that is not paper is mixed media. So have a go, people. There's a full playlist down below. Make sure you go and check out what everybody else is doing for this week's great 3 prompts. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I apologise for screeching Jack in the background. I thank you all for staying and persevering. Happy scrapping till next time, and here's my next video recommendation for you.